leave in safety.
For 40 years, your trust has been our most valuable investment.
We have turned your savings into investments, delivering returns that grow with you.
We are driven by innovation, defined by convenience. So wherever life takes you, your fund is right there.
Mommy, look. Because we are in the business of changing lives today and shaping tomorrow.
Join us for the 13th annual members meeting.
Happening 22nd September 2025, starting at 9 a.m. live on TV and online to discover a steadfast performance guided by accountability and built on transparency. Visit www.nssfug.org/AMM 2025 to register your attendance. NSSF, a better life.
My friend, I have made some good money today. It is time to relax and enjoy life.
Nice to hear that, Sim. Just give me some money.
Gino, let's go party. All the drinks and the muchomo are on me. I will crown the day with a babe to chill with before I return home. Let's enjoy ourselves. Life is too short.
You guy, you mean you want to take nothing home to your family? My friend, indulging in casual sex has become very risky and dangerous these days. There is HIV and what's still mpox.
What are you saying, Gino? I use protection, a condom. Don't scare me.
Good. Condoms can protect you from HIV and other STIs, but not mpox. If that person has the mpox skin rash, he will also contract the disease SEMU.
What?
Yes, SEMU. And from there, you'll spread it to your loved ones, your lovely wife, and your children, who may suffer serious disease and even die.
Thanks, Gino. I heard about it earlier, but I just brushed it off as well. So I am cancelling this useless program and going home to my loved ones. Bye, Gino. Bye.
Good decision. You see, that is being responsible, Semu. Hey, by the way, before you go, just give me at least a 50K.
Mpox is real. Protect yourself and the loved ones. Stay safe and do not indulge in casual sex or other risky behaviors. For more information
about Mpox,
call a Ministry of Health toll-free line on 0800 1066 or send a free SMS to YouReport on 8500. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF, WHO, and its partners.
Every waking day is a reminder just how beautiful this, our land, truly is. The kind of beauty that you can only find here, in the lush green all around us and the wondrous sights within. It's in the distinct aroma of our cooking, to the taste of food that takes you on a journey, in the sound of homecoming and the sound of Mother Earth, in the magnificence we find on our travels and the exciting moments we experience. Ours is the kind of beauty that comes in all things big and small. All we have to do is awaken our senses and truly enjoy what's uniquely ours. Explore Uganda, the pearl of Africa.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 3355 855.
When you want to relax your body and refresh your mind, welcome to Hotel La Confidential, Aroa's premier destination for luxury and comfort. The only hotel in Aroa City offering a serene atmosphere, breathtaking scenery. Come and discover our exclusive wellness club with packages that include a fully equipped gym, a rejuvenating sauna, steam bath, and a great sky blue swimming pool. For events, our state-of-art conference halls and versatile event spaces are perfect for hosting shows, wedding receptions, birthdays, and more. Come and enjoy our cinema hall and unisex saloon, all designed to meet your entertainment and grooming needs. Bring your family and let your kids splash around in our beautiful kids water park. We are located on Aroa Pakwachi Highway in the heart of Aroa City. Don't wait. Visit us on www.hotelconfidential.com or call us on 0761 688 181.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Ready to transform your commutes? Embrace a greener, more affordable way to travel and promise of agile entrepreneurship with e-mobility. The future is here. E-mobility is tackling today's most daunting challenges. See it in action at the National E-Mobility Expo 2025, September 18th to 19th at the Kira Vehicle Plant in Jinja. Head to our digital channels and follow the link www.neme.kiramotors.com to register.
At UNOC, we believe in safety.
Nsooka okwebaza omukulembeze w'eggwanga okututeekateeka. Twali tetunnaba kuteekebwateekebwa, twafuna okusoomoozebwa nga kungi nnyo. Omuli okutukwata abasirikale, olumu nga tetulina na kitukoze. Kale nga n'akasente k'oba osonzeewo ggwe nga ggwe akagenda okukuyambako mu bizibu byo, nga weekanga okawadde abasirikale. Naye okuva ffe ghetto structure we yayimirirawo ebintu bingi byakyuka. Abaana baffe tebakyabakwata nnyo okuggyako abo abamenyi b'amateeka. Ne be bakutte nga babakwatidde mu ghetto nga ekikwekweto kibadde kiyise. Nabo tulina omukisa ogugenda okubajjayo. Abasirikale batuwulira. Abasirikale batuwulira. Toyinza kugenda ku poliisi n'ogamba DPC nti bakutte omwana wange ng'akumanyi nti oli komanda. N'atateekayo nnyo maanyi kukola ki? Kumujjayo. Ne neebaza bakama baffe, Jeno Damulira, Afande Kuteesa, nange tweyanzizza nnyo mukoze ky'amaanyi, bo bakoze ky'amaanyi nnyo tuteekateeka. Kuba bwe twamala okuyingira ghetto structure ne batuteekerawo n'essako ne certificate twazifuna. Kati bwe batteekerawo ssako eyo, era muzeeyi n'amala n'atuukiriza kye yatugamba n'atuteekeramu ssente. Era kati eno essaawa gye tuliko tuwola abaana, tuwola ba ghetto youth ababadde balina bizinesi zaabwe naye nga zibulamu ebyokkola. Tugenda tubawa okutwaliza wamu katuli bulungi, tetuli bubi nnyo, era twebaliza ddala President Museveni okutukolera ekintu ekyo kuba mu butuufu twali.
40 years, your trust has been our most valuable investment.
We have turned your savings into investments, delivering returns that grow with you.
We are driven by innovation, defined by convenience. So wherever life takes you, your fund is right there.
Mommy, look. Because we are in the business of changing lives today and shaping tomorrow.
Join us for the 13th annual members meeting.
Happening 22nd September 2025, starting at 9 a.m. live on TV and online to discover a steadfast performance guided by accountability and built on transparency. Visit www.nssfug.org/AMM 2025 to register your attendance. NSSF, a better life.
My friend, I have made some good money today. It is time to relax and enjoy life.
Nice to hear that, Sim. Just give me some money.
Gino, let's go party. All the drinks and the muchomo are on me. I will crown the day with a babe to chill with before I return home. Let's enjoy ourselves. Life is too short.
You guys, you mean you want to take nothing home to your family? My friend, indulging in casual sex has become very risky and dangerous these days. There is HIV and what's still Mpox.
What are you saying, Gino? I use protection, a condom. Don't scare me.
Good. Condoms can protect you from HIV and other STIs, but not Mpox. If that person has the Mpox skin rash, he will also contract the disease Semu.
What?
Yes, Semu. And from there, you'll spread it to your loved ones, your lovely wife, and your children, who may suffer serious disease and even die.
Thanks, Gino. I heard about it earlier, but I just brushed it off as well. So I am cancelling this useless program and going home to my loved ones. Bye, Gino. Bye.
Good decision. You see, that is being responsible, Semu. Hey, by the way, before you go, just give me at least a 50K.
Mpox is real. Protect yourself and the loved ones. Stay safe and do not indulge in casual sex or other risky behaviors. For more information
about Mpox,
call the Ministry of Health toll-free line on 0800 1066 or send a free SMS to YouReport on 8500. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF, WHO, and its partners.
Ready to transform your commutes? Embrace a greener, more affordable way to travel and promise of agile entrepreneurship with e-mobility. The future is here. E-mobility is tackling today's most daunting challenges. See it in action at the National E-Mobility Expo 2025, September 18th to 19th at the Kira Vehicle Plant in Jinja. Head to our digital channels and follow the link www.neme.kiramotors.com to register.
I'd love to take this opportunity to thank our President, Yoweri Kaguta Trihabura Museveni, by coming up with a Myoga program. We started in 2021 as Kasumi Parish Carpenters Myoga Circle. When we received this amount of 30 million, we had a problem, we had a challenge of machines. We used to carry our wood and we would carry it up to Waise to be worked on. So when we got this chance, we are able to buy machines to ease our work of carpentry. At the moment, we are a number composed of 140 members. We have the women who come in and do saloon chairs. We have the men doing 3-drawer tables, 2-drawer tables, and different kind of furniture. Before the Myoga program came in, we had a lot of crimes taking place on this road. When this Myoga program came up, we managed to collect these youth. We gave them hope that you can change from stealing, and we can give you skill so that you be someone.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
A lovely morning to you and welcome to the Extra. Better late than never. an apology for having started a little bit late than our usual appointment time that we all know, which is 9 to 10. But of course, the delay was my guest was caught up in jam, but he has arrived. And let's continue with today's very interesting topic. I'm Robert Chirabo Nyonyi Tonoy. That is in case you've just joined, but we are always here from 6:30. That is when we begin our live broadcast of your daily, weekly program. It runs every day, the 5 days of the week. Good morning, Uganda. Now, today, we are going to be handling something that has been making headlines. Yesterday, I watched almost every news station, and even I've looked at I think it's the headline on the Daily Monitor or the New Vision this morning, where members of Parliament called upon the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development and that of the Ministry of Internal Affairs to come up with proper guidelines so that our young girls that go to the United Arab Emirates do not end up being trafficked or in the wrong hands. We saw a story that was done by the BBC, an investigative story by the BBC. Now, it indicated how a gentleman, a Ugandan gentleman based in Dubai, is taking girls to be sex objects, or these girls end up in a business that is illegal in that country, and they are doing this very risky. It has repercussions, but many of them is not by their choice. They are promised different jobs only to reach there, and this man tells them, well, I have your passport, I paid for this and that, you must work using your body until you pay me what I invested in you, then I'll let you free. To the extent that about 2 of them committed suicide after the pressure had become so hard for them. They had been used and they had reached a level, they just decided, Lord, if I can't make it home. One jumped off a building, the other. So it's been a very big problem. And Parliament yesterday, this made to the floor of the House. Now, joining me on set, I have the spokesperson of the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, that is Joshua Chalimpa, the ministry that is responsible for labour externalization in this country. Good morning and welcome, Joshua.
Good morning, Comrade Chirabo, and I want to thank the management of UBC for always giving us the opportunity to come and talk to issues of national importance. I'm happy to be here again, and I want to say sorry again for coming in late. I was held up in a jam, but I made it a point that better late than never, so I'm finally here.
Now, Joshua, to begin with, when it comes to externalization of labor, as the ministry directed or directly concerned with this issue, I mean, what is your role? Where does your mandate start and end? Let's begin at that one.
First of all, to respond to the issue that you raised about the expose by the BBC investigation, there are 2 things here. There is the issue of human trafficking, yes, which is a transnational crime. And that issue of human trafficking in Uganda is handled by the Ministry of Internal Affairs. There is a special unit which handles issues of human trafficking. I just want to say that people have been traveling overseas since time immemorial. What the government is providing under the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development are safe pathways for Ugandans who want to safely migrate to other countries. There have been openings in the Middle East to be able to do it in a safe way. It is a way of responding to those cries like those that came under the BBC episode, expose of the human trafficking. We have bilateral agreements, but let me start from where it starts. Companies are licensed for purposes of handling those people who want to migrate to go and work abroad. They are licensed, first of all, as companies under the URSP, but also have another layer, which is the licensing through the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development. So they are known. The availability of jobs by companies which are licensed is also declared to the ministry. So we know at a certain point that this company has a job order for maids, for drivers in a particular country.
So let's get to that level of the job order. Now, this company comes to Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, and they indicate that we have people that need housemaids. Now let's call a spoon, not a big spade. We want people who want house girls because that's what's commonly known here, for our viewer to get it right. And there are about 2,000, say in Saudi Arabia. We'll use Saudi Arabia because to the best of my knowledge, the only country where we have a bilateral agreement to export housemates. Now, so these, you know that these girls are leaving Uganda, their jobs are already there at the ministry. So they must indicate this.
Yes, that is the case. Once the company is licensed, is on the list of those that are into labor export, they update the ministry about the job orders they have. This guides us because I know we have responded to cases. Sometimes the media houses would consult. Of recent, there was a company which was advertising in Rukunjiri for jobs. We found, yes, the company had been registered by the Ministry of Gender, but we also found that the jobs they purport to be advertising were not existent. Therefore, they had not declared to us that they had got the job orders that they were advertising. So we do regular monitoring of the operations of companies to ensure that even when they are registered with us, what they're advertising is exactly what they have on offer. Because there are also cases of people who have been fleeced of money for non-existent jobs, where companies ask them to pay a certain fee, and for them, the companies make money out of such solicitation. So that is how it works. Now, but we also have a situation where companies are not exactly registered with the Ministry of Gender. Some of them are travel companies, tour companies, which are not registered for purposes of external labor migration, but end up involved in the trade anyway. There are also people who are trafficked out of country through the porous borders of Uganda. Some people go through the Namanga Hills in Mbale, they end up boarding to go to the Middle East through Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, where these traffickers have established contact with the different organizations. So that trafficking is what we are fighting as a country. Of course, the Ministry of Gender would support all the efforts to stop that kind of trafficking for this country. And we can only do that, one, by clearing the pathways such that people who want to migrate to go and work in other countries have a way of doing it. The ministry has established a center within the ministry where prospecting people who want to migrate can go and get information about how they can do it. We also have counseling services for people who have returned. So there are a number of interventions which have been undertaken by the ministry to ensure that those who want to go can go safely. Those who return after working are also counseled so that they are integrated back into society. We have also seen cases where people have been there, they have worked, they come back with some money, but they simply need financial literacy skills to be able to handle the money. But we have also seen cases where people come back and find that whatever savings they thought they had saved do not exist. The money has been probably eaten by relatives and things like that. They need counseling. But there is also the responsibility of government to look after Ugandans under whatever way they went, they remain Ugandans. They need counseling. We are aware of this problem, and is providing the support, of course, through the different partnerships with the different organizations, including IOM, International Organization for Migration, European Union, many organizations that are coming in to make sure that this problem can be stopped.
Now, you've talked about a number of things, but I want us to first start with those companies that are taking Ugandans out of this country, more so to begin with domestic workers, because the girls have made more news. Yes, we have the gentleman, for them they'll tell you he was involved in an accident, but the mistreatment is not much. Now, when I remember the bilateral agreement between Uganda and the Hashemite Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, it had a clause where Uganda was supposed to send attaches in Saudi Arabia, where we take our girls. That much as we have an embassy somewhere, but there must be about 5 Ugandan based there in Saudi Arabia, government officials, that when where an organization, because you all know that the organizations that take these girls here are not the ones that find the jobs there. They're also more or less like brokers. No, they wouldn't want to hear that because they get the orders from the other companies, so they supply the girls. So where these offices are not sufficient enough, that a government official, I was hosting one of them, he's called Ashe Chitandwe, he's the CEO in Jersey Limited, one of the companies that does labor externalization among others. Now he said, my attache there, may not go to the home of a general when they are being told that a girl is being mistreated. But if a government official from Uganda, he will easily communicate to his counterpart there, and they will go and pick that girl. But time has passed. Remember, there was a time when we, I think it was last year, but when we had a number of issues where the minister went to Saudi Arabia, they committed themselves to these, but up to now, Joshua, these attaches have never been placed.
No, first of all, it is not true that the labor attaches have not been identified or placed. For the case of Saudi Arabia, but what we have to agree is that also Saudi Arabia is a very big country. So one attache may not suffice. You have demands for it because the girls are in far-flung places. They are not exactly in Riyadh. They are in many other places where we will need to have consulates and where we need to have different people to deal with them. Of course, that one, deployment of people depends on the availability of resources at the hands of the Minister of Gender to place those people. I'm aware that those efforts are underway. The request from the Minister of Finance and government to make available the necessary resources such that we have enough human resource on the ground to handle those issues. I'm talking about Saudi Arabia because it is the biggest destination for most of the Ugandan maids, whereas they are also in other countries. But Saudi Arabia seems to have the majority of Ugandans working in the category of maids. So we will need to have attaches in all the other remaining countries. And that process is on. We are also in the process of discussions for purposes of securing more bilateral or labor agreements with others. I know that those discussions are underway with Oman, because I know that even without a labor agreement with Oman, there are still Ugandans who are working in Oman. Many of them. They need protection, Jordan. They need support, and the government of Uganda has already initiated. There was a delegation which was led by Honorable Anyakun, Minister of State for Labor and Industrial Relations, led a delegation to Oman. The discussions commenced. I'm sure that very soon they will come to fruition such that we have a functional bilateral labor agreement with Oman. And of course, the desire of the Ministry of Gender is that we also break through the other categories of jobs. It is not the wish of the Ministry of Gender that we keep exporting maids.
Yes.
We would want to export nurses, doctors, engineers in that category, such that now even the returns, the money repatriated back home is substantial, because these attract bigger monies, and they work in formalized work environments and not in homes. The risks are smaller than you would have maids. And also the other area is not to look at the Middle East only. We need to have openings in places like Canada, in Australia, where the nurses are required. One stop hurdle that was stopping us was that still the classification of Uganda as for the World Health Organization had classified the country in a category where they found that even us, we still need the nurses for us to export. So it means that now they have opened that up, because the classification of Uganda now means that we have enough of these resources for ourselves and even for us to be able to export. That was one of the hurdles that was stopping us from breaking into that area.
Very interesting. We want to export, by then we don't have sufficient numbers to do that. But Joshua says that is something we've overcome. Now, Joshua, after discussing that issue of the attaches, now, we said we have registered companies that are licensed and given the work, but we also have traffickers. Now, let's look at the element of traffickers. What must we do? Someone gets money. Recently, we had those that came back from Myanmar, from a rebel zone, a war-torn area. But their stories were, I was promised I'm going to be a marketing manager. When you listen to some of the girls in these stories, they'll tell you how they left their country, being told they're going to be waitresses, you know, some they're going to be marketeers, only to get there and the person says, now the business, the reality has come to your way. It is not what you expected. These traffickers, I know Ministry of Gender may not directly be in charge of this, but at least because it's still about labor, and we are having our sisters, our brothers also on the other side suffering.
Of course, human trafficking has a new face, largely supported by the developments in the digital space, the internet, the social media. Back then, it was very easy to fight it because it needed a physical presence of a trafficker on the soil of Uganda to be able to move people. Now, you have a situation where the recruitment is done through the social media, through TikTok, Facebook, things like that. And these are increasingly becoming hard to fight. We are not saying that we have given up.
Okay.
Where we get alerted that increasingly we get adverts. I normally get copies of such adverts of people who are recruiting online, asking for people that they have jobs, and we do verification. First, the verification we do is to find out if the company is legit. And once we do that and we find that this is a fake or bogus company, we do a countermeasure by using the same media that these adverts have been running to give the people the right information. Of course, by the time you intervene, sometimes it's late. By the time you get wind of it, already some people have been taken advantage of. So we want to increase our presence on the social media and online platforms to ensure that such information does not find fertile ground on the social media space. The other one is to have a joint collaboration between a joint ministerial committee between the line ministries. The one, for example, gender, internal affairs, foreign affairs, such that now we work as a team, as government, to ensure that this is stopped. It is an uphill task, but it's something that can be achieved through collaboration.
We are discussing issues of human trafficking. How do we stop them? And that is what Joshua has been informing you what the government is doing through the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development. Now, we have a group of our sisters out there. And this story exposed that many are there still suffering. You rightly said that Ugandans, even if they're outside of Uganda, they still remain Ugandans. And government has always mandated to protect them. But also one will say, if they were trafficked, it is a different thing, or smuggled. Or some would say, if they knew where they are going, you need to have this and that, and they didn't have it. There are so many excuses I've seen people give. One, we had a girl who was trafficked to Jordan. Someone said, but you well know that if you're going to be a housemaid and you're leaving Uganda, you can only go to Saudi Arabia. That is where you have a bilateral agreement. But this was a Ugandan suffering in another country, much as she had her issues. For the young girls that are in UAE, stranded as we speak, some don't even have documents to come home. You know, this could be a very big load for you.
No, of course, we have made attempts towards solving this problem. Even before this BBC expose came about. Last year, the minister, our minister of state for labor and industrial relations was in Dubai, in UAE, and met the leadership there. One of the results of that meeting was that they gave us an amnesty for Ugandans living in Dubai without the paperwork, who have overstayed their visa. In United Arab Emirates, if you overstay your visa, the government starts charging you.
Yes.
Every time you stay, it is you who is supposed to pay the government. So it was found that many of those who are staying are highly indebted, because if they had paid the UAE government, they would not be able to do it, even if they sold their assets back home. So the amnesty was granted. They were asked to report to the centers, and in which case they would be facilitated to return home. Those who benefited from that amnesty were able to come back.
Yes.
What is coming up is that not all of them came back. Sometimes people, when they are in situations like that, sometimes to even travel to UAE, they sold their property, a grand sat to see them off. They don't want to come back in a miserable situation.
Definitely.
It is a situation which we have to deal with. It's a psychological situation that you have to deal with. So I want to believe that some of them, because of that, did not want to come back so miserable. We still extend a hand. I'm sure that the Ministry of Gender will use the same channels they had used last year to ensure that you have discussions with the government of UAE, so that there is an extension of an amnesty for them to come, those who want to come. I know that the embassy in UAE had been given the mandate or had been asked to process temporary travel documents for those people who want to come back. So, of course, it is still a difficult thing. We need to have a delegation. We need to find a way of meeting these Ugandans. We work with different agencies, organizations, to ensure that these people are talked to, so they find a reason to come back home. And even when they come back, that's why I was telling you that we have a migrant workers support center in the ministry, so that when they come back home, they are received
with joy.
With joy, they are given the counseling, and also we work with other partners to ensure that they are supported to find new footing back home.
Very interesting. The government efforts to ensure that when they return home, at least they don't force the hostility. Fellow Ugandans, this is something why many Ugandans, and I must say this, Joshua, are stuck in many countries there. People are there, they are suffering. But a person will tell you, Robert, I come home, what am I coming back home with? We have very high expectations when someone gets out of this country. Now, this is holding Ugandans. And at the end of the day, some are taking their lives. We should understand that some of these are victims of circumstances. Some were conned. In case a person comes back, this issue of saying he has spent 2 years in the United States, he only came back with a bag. Well, he's been alive. You don't know what they have gone through. So we should stop pointing fingers, stigmatizing them. Sometimes I hear these talks, you left here 2 years, you've gone to work in Saudi Arabia. What do you have to show? We stayed here. No, those are not really called for. Most at such a time when we've had revelations and knowledge that some of these people are trafficked, others are deceived, others are betrayed, at the end of the day, some even can commit suicide. Now, Joshua, what message do you have to Ugandans who are seeking employment outside of this country? More so in the informal sector. What do I mean? Not the professionals. Because the doctors, the engineers, as usual, these stories don't come by. But we have these ones, you're going to be a marketeer, you're going to work in a factory, you're going to be cleaning in a cleaning company. What message, what should I have at the back of my mind when someone tells me, hey, Robert, there's an opportunity for this. You're going to be a driver, you know?
First of all, the view of government is that even people to migrate to other countries is a temporary measure. Because I know that efforts are underway within the country of Uganda so that the Ugandans don't find reason to go abroad. That's why you have a multiplicity of empowerment programs. By the way, we will be celebrating International Youth Day on the 19th. That's a Friday in Masindi. And one of the issues that we are looking at is how the youth can be empowered or are being empowered through the different government programs. That's why even in PDM, you have a 30% allocation, ring-fenced for purposes of young people. Because government is aware that the young people are the majority in this country. And therefore, you need to have measures to support them. That's why there is youth livelihood program. That's why there is GROW. Many other programs which exist. So the first thing is Ugandans can find footing home, but where you have to travel abroad, to work abroad, there are pathways that have been created by government. So my appeal is to use the genuine companies. I know that we have interfaced with people who are paid through the nose, who have paid a lot of money for purposes of going out. Somebody tells you that I spent 10 million. But 10 million is enough capital for you to start a business back home. We know that some people have started businesses even with 2 million.
So you have money that can start a business.
So if you can raise 10 million,
why leave?
To pay somebody who may be even a traffic.
Taking you to be a chef.
To take you, why can't you start small and grow big? So that level of desperation is what we have to deal with. I'm sure that in all these interventions, there must be an element of training and skilling. There are skilling programs such that people know that there is no easy money. Even when you go abroad, you may not get money easily.
True.
So it means that you can invest your time and energy here and still make it. Because I have also seen people, they have been rounding up people. Some Asians are trafficked to Uganda. Whereas Ugandans may be trafficked out of the country. There are also some people who are trafficked from their countries to come to Uganda. And they would tell you that they find that there are opportunities in Uganda. Those are mostly Asians. If others find opportunity in Uganda, how come that Ugandans are blind to those opportunities? So there's work to do. You can make it here, but should you find reason to go, please use the genuine companies.
You can make it here. You can make it here if you have 10 million. My guest is wondering, then why would you pay someone 10 million to take you to be a driver, to take you to be a marketeer, to take you to work in a cleaning company? You know, why? That money, you can invest it. Now, why is a question up to you if you have those monies. 12 million, say you're going to be a security guard. You make your calculations, after this I'll be earning this, then only to reach there, your traffic to Myanmar, and trouble comes your way when you're in a rebel territory and you're captured by the rebels themselves. Now there, what next is government, these issues, bargain and all that. But as time flies, coming to the end, Joshua, the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, we cannot live without also calling upon people, informing them about the Youth Day. So let's also take some minutes into this, much as was in the topic of the day.
Dear viewers, every 12th of August, we normally have International Youth Day. I'm sure some people may be wondering, why do we have to celebrate it now? We are in September and we are going to celebrate it on the 19th in Masindi at golf grounds in Masindi town. There were a number of programs that were underway. I know that the roadmap of the Independent Electoral Commission indicated that there were several activities related to the election of the youth structures, the youth councils, within the period under which the International Youth Day was following. In the wisdom of the leadership of the ministry, it was found necessary that the celebrations be delayed, and now they have come. So we are all heading to Masindi golf grounds. I want to invite all Ugandans, all youth, to come and celebrate with us. There is a lot to celebrate about. Of course, there have been there are still challenges that we have been talking about.
Yes.
But we also have to appreciate there are many developments that have been going on. There have been, for example, the youth participation in the political space. You have members of parliament who come to parliament on the ticket of the young people. And that one we have to celebrate. The empowerment programs that I was talking about, the fact that now you have 30% allocation within PDM for purposes of young people to benefit. The fact that in a Myoga program, there is still a Myoga for young people to benefit from, a special allocation. The fact that there is YRP, the Youth Livelihood Program. The fact that there is UWEP, GROW, and many other innovations in the space of IT. There is an innovation fund which was launched by the president, run by the Uganda Development Bank. So there is a number of interventions for government that have been made for purposes of supporting and empowering the youth. That is why we should be celebrating. But we also know that there is a challenge. Whereas we have a number of those interventions, Uganda is one of the youngest countries. You have the majority of population of Uganda of young people. I'm saying young people intentionally because it is not, there's this statistic which talks about 73% of Ugandans are youth.
Yes.
That's not true because the majority are children.
Okay.
Because the majority are between 1 and 17. So the ones which are in, we could call youth according to the definition of young people in Uganda, are 23% of the population. Still, that is big. They are energetic. We have to make provisions for those young people such that we address their challenges. The young people are looking for jobs. How is the government answering to the question of jobs?
Okay.
The young people need access to the digital tools.
Many of them.
They are developing apps. Recently, we were in the annual inaugural National Youth Symposium, and I was looking at applications that have been made. I saw students from Chambogo, from the people living with disabilities. They have developed an app which can help even young people who have visual impairments to see and count money. So the machine, you just press it on a note and it will tell you how much the money is. There are different developments. People have developed apps, and the world is moving in the line of technology advancement, issues of AI. How are our young people, who are many, the majority, how are they going to take advantage of that and make Uganda compete in the global space of the developments in IT? All these issues talk to policy. We are going to have policy makers. We're going to have the highest policy maker, who is the president of the country.
True.
Will be the chief guest. You'll have members of parliament. You'll have the development partners all coming to Masindi so that we can reflect on these issues, reflect on the developments, and reflect on the challenge that still lay ahead. That's why all of us should have interest in whatever will be going on in Masindi. You are welcome.
Very interesting there. Government has a number of initiatives that they have put in place, and Joshua Chalimpa, who happens to be the mouthpiece or the spokesperson of the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, has tried to list some of them to ensure that our youth, one, are very productive. We fight levels of unemployment. Of course, unemployment creates poverty as well, and we reduce, we may not totally eliminate, but reduce human trafficking, and also ensure that the people that live in this country are well aware where they are going, because you said if they are made, you have even the job orders already there, so that we can reverse things. But as we speak today, yes, I must commend the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development. When it comes to housemaids, I think you've done tremendously. The stories are now reducing.
Of course, what I didn't talk about is the issue of mindset, which we have to deal with. We have to deal with the issue of mindset. Every time we have an opportunity like this, we need to talk to the issue of mindset, because it is the mindset that makes a young person think that you cannot make it here. Already you have concluded that you have no chance of making it in Uganda, and that the only opportunity you have is if you go abroad. That is a mindset issue, because it is not true that there are no opportunities in Uganda. There are people who have made it by staying in Uganda and working hard. Now, it is also a mindset issue that makes young people think that they can succeed through betting. People who are betting their life away through the different, and you go in different places and see young people there
very early,
early in the morning.
Kapapula, people are investing.
For matches. That one is also an issue.
Then you find them in India.
So we need, so by the end of the day, an Indian, of course, they are also Ugandans into that business.
Yeah, but usually, I don't know why they labeled it.
They call it Muindi. I think because either the machines come from India. Now, the Indian makes money off this gullible youth who could otherwise be spending their time doing something productive.
Yeah.
There are also, of course, the issue of land is still a challenge, but at least for young people, they may not own it, but they may have access to it. Because the land ownership in such a way that our fathers, parents, the elders probably own it. And you have access to it, full control over it when they pass on. But even when they survive, they can give you, when they are alive, they can give you some space where you can have a garden, you can have tomatoes, you can have things like that. Now, it is our responsibility to tell the young people that even that one can be a pathway towards ending poverty. So you can use that, avail a bit of land, to make ends meet, start a business, and develop. At least in Uganda is known to be most entrepreneurial. Many Ugandans' dream is to start a business of their own. So you have people who are interested in business, they don't know that they can get the capital here. That is a mindset issue.
Well, thank you so much, Joshua Chalimpa. I can't go beyond this, who is the communication person of Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development. We have looked at human trafficking in Uganda, where now people are being trafficked out of Uganda, most so in the United Arab Emirates, referring to a story, an investigative story that was done by the BBC that rose a lot of attention up to the floor of Parliament, where members of Parliament tasked the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, plus the Ministry of Internal Affairs to come up with a proper system, proper bilateral agreements that can protect our people when they're in these countries. Very important to note, mindset change is one that Joshua has said, you can still make it here. But if you find that greener pastures are in a certain country, make sure before you leave Uganda, you've done due diligence to avoid falling in the hands of crooks. A friend you know may be a trafficker. And sometimes traffickers are not very new to us. There are people we know, people whom we trust are the very ones who leave you drowning in deep waters. Have the best of your day. May the good Lord bless you. See you tomorrow, God willing, for God and my country.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Ready to transform youths? Embrace a greener, more affordable way to travel and promise of agile entrepreneurship with e-mobility. The future is here. E-mobility is